Hey guys, alrighty, I have a story for you. So, I promised I was going to make a video basically talking about my relationship since I've been transitioning. Um, I actually just went on a date the other day. I got asked out by some guy I met, and it went really good, except towards the end. Anyways, we'll start with that one. I met a guy, he was 23 years old, and we had a lot in common. He asked me out on a date. I met him in Boston, and he took me out to lunch, got my favorite kind of food, Chinese. He then took me to a movie, paid for everything, held the door open, used nothing but female pronouns. It was amazing. Um, we left the movies to head back towards the train station, and a random guy on the street called me a T-bomb. I hate that word. He called me a tranny, and I didn't really let it faze me. I just walked away, and this guy decided to proceed to follow me, and he nudged me like enough to like give me like a little push, and I was just like, whoa. So I kept walking, and he goes, fucking tranny, quote unquote, and my date was like, what did you say to her? And he goes, you're with a tranny, quote unquote, a chick with a dick. So this really triggered me, because I don't get that at all. Like, you're calling me a man, you're calling me all this stuff. I don't look like a man. I don't feel like a man. Why are you gonna call me something I'm not? So, anyways, my date ended up fighting him, and I can't tell you, biggest mistake picking on a Marine. Yeah, and this guy was on the ground. His friend said, oh, real nice. Called my date the N word. Um, I don't feel comfortable using that word, but yeah, called my date that. Triggered a lot for him as well. He ended the date with me by saying, I don't think we should be together. Like, if this is our first date and this is what it's gonna be like, I don't wanna do this. And I said, I'm sorry, and I don't think that we should let one guy ruin what we had, and he wasn't in the mood for reasoning. Um, yeah, that was my bad experience. I did have another one where I met a guy through a friend, and um, so I met up with my friend because she said she wanted to go out to Dave and Buster's. She had a guy coming with her as well as her girlfriend, and she wanted me to meet this guy because she was going to set us up. Well, it worked. Like, halfway through the date, like, we got talking, and he was like, I'll drive you home. I was like, okay. So we spent the night talking. He made the first move, he kissed me, and I was head over heels. I was like, this guy's treating me like a girl. It's amazing. Um, Next thing comes, he invites me on another date the next day. I was so bummed. I was like, oh my god, this guy's sweet, like, and he likes me. He took me on 7 consecutive dates before he finally asked me out. And I said, yeah. We dated for a month and a half. What happened was, he started getting very possessive. He was timing me. The first red flag was, how do I put this? He timed me on my way to his house and said, it takes 47 minutes for you to get here from your house. Why'd it take you an hour? I went, are you serious? He goes, what took you so long? It threw me off. We got into a really bad fight like a month into our relationship, and about a month and a half, I told him, I was like, dude, I was like, this isn't working. I was like, are you mad at me? Did I do something? He then proceeded to, like, he argued with me for about 2 hours, where he tried to ditch me in the middle of Providence where I don't know where I am. So I told him to take me back to his house and he would never see me again. He took me back to his house, told me if I get out of his car, it's over with. I said, good. I got out of his car, I left. He apologized to me. The saddest part was, he like got in my face before I left, put his arms like up against the wall so that I was in between his arms, and went, just like this, I am so sorry. I had a really bad week. I'm sorry. I love you. Look at those eyes. They were dead. I didn't say anything, and he went, whoa, well that sucked. He said, I love you. And then gave me a long stare. So I said it back, and I left him. And I ended up texting him the next day and saying, hey, it's not working out between us. Like, I'm sorry. Biggest mistake in my life. This dude texted me probably 600 times. Called me about 45 times. He left nasty voicemails on my phone. He called my job. I answered the phone once and told him stop. I said, I'm gonna call the cops. And he said, I know where you live. I know where you work. I know where you go to school. And I know where you park your car at night. Kind of scared the shit out of me. I called the cops. I had a restraining order put in and had my phone number changed. They changed the name and the number on my phone. I then had the police survey my house. They surveyed it for like 2 weeks, and he stopped talking to me, like stopped messaging me like on Facebook and stuff, because I blocked him, but he would message me from random profiles. So yeah, that was my really abusive relationship, and it was probably the most horrible thing ever. I've had my ups and downs with dating as transgender. The hardest part is probably explaining to guys like, hey, this is what I'm doing, and in the end, I don't plan on keeping everything I have. The hardest part is explaining to them that I'm getting SRS. Most guys are like, go for it, good for you, like, I'm proud of you. Some guys are like, why? Why are you gonna mutilate yourself? And I'm like, it's my body. It's my choice. I'm not gonna change because you want me to. If you come into my life, hooray. But other than that, it's my life. I did all this for me, not to meet a guy. I did this to be happy. And I am on a great path. I finish school tomorrow and couldn't be happier. Like 2016, here we come. So yeah, those are my ups and downs with relationships. I face the reality though that being transgender is really hard. It's not going to be all smooth roads. That was the first real bad experience I've had getting outed in public, where if I hadn't had him with me, I probably would have got jumped by 6 guys. But yes, life lessons, and I'm so prepared for the next time something like that happens. I mean, I hope nothing does happen, but still. And I look forward to making more videos and stuff for y'all. I love making videos, and I can't wait. Like, I have less than 2 months and I hit my 1-year mark on hormones. That is pretty epic. My whole family has like come around with me being trans and all. Like, my mom uses girl pronouns. She calls me she, her daughter, and it's incredible. My brothers call me their sister. Coworkers stopped using the name Josh and started using Jess or Jay if they mess up. Um, I love my job. My job accepts me so much. Um, it's a great thing, like, doing what I'm doing. Like, if I had to stay a boy, it would kill me. I wouldn't be here today. And I'm not saying that to be a Debbie Downer. It's the truth. Um, I'm so happy that I am done with finals so that I had time to like make an actual video, like full length. Let's get some double digit timers in there. Um, so yes, I love lately that people have been messaging me on YouTube and Facebook and basically talking to me about their problems like transitioning. And oh, that's another thing. I have definitely taken up such a role as an activist. Um, at my school, we had a ceremony where I was greatly honored for my work with transgenders and LGBT. I helped so many individuals come out this year. It's not even funny. Like, I just came out in February, and for me to be able to help other people's lives is incredible. I organized an event that so many people came to, and much applause, much respect, and it's a good thing. Like, our school has become so much more accepting, which is incredible. I don't have to be afraid to like walk down the halls. Um, so yeah, I mean, I met a lot of good people in the GSA. I'm actually running for president next semester, and those are my like goals. I have one semester of college left, and then I go into the full adult world. Um, I can't say that guys are going to be a big part of my life at the moment. I'm thinking of just like stopping seeing people just until I finalize my surgeries and all that good stuff. I actually get to put all my paperwork through to Dr. Broussard in Canada. We did talk. I had my second letter sent over to him. I just need to have my doctor fill out my first letter when I finish hormones. Yeah, my therapist sent me the letter, and my doctor has to send the second one. So it's pretty cool. He told me he got my letter. He sent me like all this paperwork and said at 1 year I should send him all the paperwork and we can start talking about booking a surgery. My insurance said that they would cover it. My therapist is jumping through loopholes to like have my insurance cover it. I'm grateful for that. Like, SRS is going to change my life. What else can I say? I stopped looking for changes. Most people just tell me when they see something new. So like my coworkers, they always talk about my breasts, like all the time. They're like, "Wow, they're incredible," and I'm like, "Thanks." And one of my friends talked about how like my sides are curving out and like how I'm starting to look more like a girl. And it's funny, I haven't been called a boy at work in so long. It's incredible. Um, so yeah, my face is definitely like rounded out like crazy. Um, Breasts have grown. Um, Skin has gotten so much softer. Um, I used to think for a long time that transitioning meant that I was only physically transitioning. Like, I've noticed so many more mental changes. I can cry so much. Like, let's put it this way, I'm not going to simplify it just into crying. My mentality has changed a lot. My emotions are so intact with me, it is scary. So, I feel life. I feel life to the fullest, and you can say I'm emotional, but it's a good way to live. It means you open your heart to the world. Yeah, I don't really have too much more to say. I just wanted to talk about like the abusive relationship stories. And another thing, if anyone's in an abusive relationship, it is definitely not your fault. I'm not just saying that to sound like the stereotypical, like, survivor. This man threatened me. He told me I was worthless. He told me he was going to kill me. He made so many threats that I was afraid to leave my house. I was afraid to come home. I was mortified. Not anymore. I took control of my life, and I know it's not my fault. Like, I used to believe him, that I was stupid, that I was idiotic for most of the things I've done. I'm really not. And I'm a very bright girl. I realized all this now, and for anyone who's dating someone who's maybe an abuser, I advise leave. Most people say it's hard, but you know what? It's not that hard. I walked away. I got out of it. And I know you can. For those of you who are transitioning, who are thinking about it, transitioning, at least for me, was the best and only choice I could do. If you've looked at some of my first videos, I've definitely come a long way, and I'm grateful for starting HRT and basically for coming out to my family. I know in a lot of cases most people can't come out to their family because of a lot of things getting thrown out, financial situations, underage, all this stuff. But I'm glad I did, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to live the life that I want to live. And kind of makes me like all smiley, but at the same time I want to cry. I am so much happier, and if you look at my first videos, you can see that. Like, I'm so much happier being me. Being able to leave my house and people talk to me like I'm a girl. And when I say like a girl, I mean in a sense that they wouldn't have ever guessed that I was born male. It's incredible. And I have such a good path to go down. I'm finally back on the right path, and I'm heading in a great direction. I have nowhere to go but up. And that's a good quality. So yes, I don't have much more to say other than it's so good to be back, and I have more videos to come. I have a lot more. I just want to space them out in videos. So yeah, it was really good making this video, and definitely like, subscribe, dislike if you hate my videos, which I don't know why. And message. Feel free to message if you have any questions or want to talk. Alrighty. Bye, guys.